Tonight, a feature interview with Tommy Robinson. I sit down with him hours after he's released by police. It's August 5th, and this is the Ezra Levant Show.
Shame on you, you censorious thug.
Oh, hi, everybody. As you can see, I'm in the United Kingdom again. I'll be back in Toronto tomorrow morning. But I just had to come over here because crazy things were afoot. As you may know, Tommy Robinson was walking through St. Pancras train station. It's a big station here in London. Someone saw him, accosted him, assaulted him. Tommy kept retreating, but the man persisted. And finally, Tommy acted in self-defense, and down went the man, hit the ground hard, actually wound up in the hospital. Here's some footage of it moments after it happened. Well, Tommy actually phoned police right away. Tommy's got a liaison officer in the Met Police. He deals with them so often. He immediately called, asked for what to do. The next morning at 6 a.m., Tommy's lawyer called. They didn't make any requests or demands of him, so he just went about his business, knowing that it was in self-defense. But he made his foreign business trip end early so he could come home, present himself to police because they wanted to interview him. That happened last night. In fact, they kept him till 1 a.m., but they viewed the surveillance tape in the train station together, and it was clear that it was self-defense. So luckily, what a relief. No prosecution so far. They could change their mind theoretically. I came to London thinking that there would be a bail hearing today. I was delighted instead to talk to him. There was one more thing Tommy said to me last night, that when he was done with those police at 1 a.m., for 2 more hours, police from the Met Police, that's the London City Police, grilled him about 3 tweets, 3 posts on X that he made that violate the Online Safety Act. That's the name of their censorship bill. You really got to watch that part of the interview. It's at the end, but it frankly is more riveting than the first part. These are 3 tweets that are, politically spicy, sure, but nothing out of the ordinary. Things that, I think millions of people would just click retweet or repost on. They're just very normal. One of them, in fact, was just text taken from a large newspaper in town here called the Daily Mail. But the police said to Tommy, well, they have a journalism license and you don't. So they're allowed to say it and you're not. That's what they said to him. That's the reality of the UK in 2025. That's why I keep coming here and to Ireland, because there is a battle on for your mind, as InfoWars says. The censorship in this country is extreme because it's intended to cover up reporting on another extreme thing, namely mass immigration. Anyways, without further ado, here is my feature interview with Tommy Robinson. Be back in Toronto tomorrow.
I can't be walking these streets.
Right.
Because something's going to happen. So I don't know what to do, man. But I just want a plan for United Kingdom, September 13th. I want everyone to be there. Get these as well at nationwide.co.uk.
It's almost too much to believe.
I was arrested for other charges yesterday by the Met.
So you got these just yesterday?
They arrested me.
These are
I was arrested under caution, questioned about 3 tweets.
Ezra Levant here with Rebel News. I'm with Tommy Robinson. At about 1 a.m. last night, we got the good news. He will not be detained by police in regards to an incident at St. Pancras train station a week ago. Tommy, first of all, it is so good to see you free and in your natural habitat.
Hey, I was worried. Do you know what? I'll probably say it's the worst week of my life, because I looked at the charge that they said they were detaining me under, Section 18, with intent. That charge carries a 16-year prison sentence.
Oh my God!
It's one under attempted murder.
So you were at St. Pancras train station, or it's a big station. There's subways and trains. Now, I'm going to ask you about it, but I also want to let viewers know that you are under a couple of conditions. The police have let you go on bail. There's no charges against you now, but you did promise not to identify witnesses.
Not to identify witnesses or any information about witnesses, and not to travel on the London train stations.
Okay, so
which I don't want to.
Keeping those promises. Tell us what happened, because a clip of just after what happened went viral. It was a man on the ground, a couple of, it looked like security guards, and you were there. Here's a quick look at that video clip. Okay, so that started after the action. What happened?
A lot had happened before that. So even there's some witnesses that only witnessed that bit at the top of the escalators, but what you don't witness, which I can now sit and relax, because I was concerned the police would not get the footage, and all there would be is a couple of witness accounts that could be questionable.
Or that the footage might go missing, with Jeffrey Epstein.
That's what I was expecting. So when I was away, I was worried. And when the more I read, the more I got worried. But then when I've landed, I've gone and met the police. And I've looked at the footage yesterday, and the footage shows exactly what happened. It shows me, obviously I've been in London all day. Unfortunately for me, I don't have paid security, yeah? I don't have a monetized account. So some YouTubers do. So I don't have paid security. I go everywhere on my own, Ezra. If I'm in London, I'm on my own. If I'm in Luton, I'm on my own. If I'm in Manchester, I'm on my own.
But you're very recognizable. A lot of people like you. A lot of people hate you.
Yeah, that's the problem. It's like, it's 100 handshakes and then one person will want to have a punch.
Yeah.
One person. So I live that life anyway, but I've lived that life for 15 years.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to live that life. But when I've walked through the train station, and anyone who's followed me that day, I've put quite a few videos up of Muslims coming up to me, being lovely. Everyone was super nice all day. I was all around London and I didn't get one negative word. Everything was positive. And as I've come through the train station, which I've now seen the footage, so I come through, a gentleman comes off of a train, and just, I don't blame this gentleman, yeah? I don't blame him, because people who dislike me, when I actually get talking to them, they dislike me because they believe I'm Satan, because the media have told them I'm Satan, yeah? The media have told them I'm this big scary figure, I'm a racist, I'm an extremist, all these things I'm not, yeah? So he comes off the train, so he should be walking out of St Pancras as I'm walking in, but then he sees me, and he makes a beeline straight at me, and then he literally, he comes here, he threatens me with my life. And I try, and when you watch the footage, which I couldn't remember, so watching the footage was great yesterday, because it just proves everything. He comes at me, he doesn't let me go, I try and get round him, he stops me getting round him, I try and walk away. You can see he's here, he's in my face, he's abusing me, he's threatening me, he's harassing me. I walk away, he comes after me. This goes on for a whole stretch. It goes on for a whole stretch.
So you're retreating and he's advancing.
I'm retreating, he's advancing
the
whole time.
What's he saying? What are you saying?
I'm telling him to leave me alone. I'm telling him to get out of my space. I'm telling him to stand back, because what I know he was doing, as I was watching him, I thought he's trying to get close enough for me to have my guard down so he can catch me. That's the whole time I was watching. So I'm constantly watching like that, saying, mate, stand back. Don't get close enough to me, because I was worried he's going to hit me. Yeah, the whole time. He said he could end me. Kept going on about how little I was. Quite funny. Yeah? So just giving me constant abuse and threats, and I'm trying to get away, and I'm pushing, and I'm going backwards, and then I turn to walk off, and then he comes after me again. And when we get to the top of the escalators, this has already gone on for a minute and a half. Yeah,
what were other people doing? Were they watching? Was it noisy?
Not through the underpass, which is all on camera though. There wasn't really anyone else there, so it's just me and him. But he's on
about 8:30 at night kind of thing.
Yeah, 9:30 at night. And then we get to the top of the escalators, so I'm in front of him. So I should go down the escalators. I think I can't go down the escalators. He's going to boot me down the escalator. He's going to boot me from behind. So I then stop and step out of the way, and I move to my side and to let him go down the escalators. He doesn't go down the escalators. He then turns. There's a few words between us. He then comes at me, which is at the point I said, I don't just go around, Ezra. I don't go around punching people.
It would be crazy if you tried.
Yeah,
you're one guy in a city of millions.
And I just don't anyway. Yeah, I take a lot of shit.
It's not your style.
I take a lot of shit from people. Yeah, I beat them with my mouth.
Yeah,
I beat them with my mouth, and I beat them with facts.
And like you say, they don't know you. They know the caricature of you that the mainstream media has propagandized. I've seen you turn people around because they have simply no other source of information. And
there's no debate, and we're right on what we say. So but I didn't get. He was drunk as well. He admitted being drunk. He was drunk.
It's a weird thing that he said. Like he said that to you in the fracas.
Oh, I'm drunk.
That's weird. That's weird.
Because that was when he got aggressive, and then I was telling him to stand back or I'll defend myself. I just kept saying, mate, I'm going to defend myself in a minute.
Yeah.
I don't want to. Stand back.
Yeah.
I kept saying it. I must have told him 10 times. Fucking leave me alone, man.
Yeah.
And then he comes after me. Where I was at the top of the stairs, he then comes at me. Now, he's not a small bloke. He's not a small bloke. He's probably 18 stone. And then at that point of him coming back at me, which is what I was waiting to see on the footage, at that point he'll come at me, even then I go backwards. But I do defend myself.
Yeah.
I do defend myself. Now, in defending myself, he has unfortunately took a quite serious injury.
Yeah.
Which again, I wish him luck for. I don't want any negative for him. I want him to have a full recovery. But if you chase people, you harass them, you threaten them, you leave them in a corner with no option when you're coming to... He come at me to violently attack me.
Yeah.
On camera, he's coming at me. He's running at me.
I saw the lies start within minutes of that viral clip. People were saying that it was an attack by you as opposed to self-defense. You had a pre-existing business trip abroad. The newspaper said you absconded as if
Ezra,
you were fleeing.
Play the recording. I sent you the voice note I sent to the copper, didn't I?
Yeah.
So the minute this happened, I then we have a liaison officer at Scotland Yard who we deal with for our demonstrations.
Do you want me to? Do you want us to play that?
Play it.
All right. Here's the. So Tommy sent a voice note to the Metropolitan Police immediately afterwards. Here's a copy of that clip. Take a listen.
Wayne, it's Tommy, mate. How are you? So I was on the way to get my train home, and I've had some lad come up, starting at me, squaring up to me with his clenched fist. I've stood away, told him to f*** off, told him multiple times just f*** off. He's carried on walking, carried on chatting shit. I've got to the top of the stairs and I've called him a fat and then he's turned around, he's gone, yeah, you want to try me? He's clenching his fists, turned around. I can't wait for him to knock me out, yeah? He's a big old fat fella. So I've defended myself and then he's come at me again. But he's ended up asleep on the floor. Now I'm worried about him. I didn't have any other situation. There's nothing else I could have done, yeah, other than wait to get knocked out. But I don't know he's all right. I couldn't wait to see if he's all right because, mate, I'm in central London. It's going to be 2 minutes before I'm spotted, and other groups are going to come. Muslims are going to come. I'm on my own, so I've left and got out of there. So I'm making contact with you, Wayne. I don't know what else to do. I've rang my solicitor just to say, look, get me an interview, a voluntary interview. I'll talk to the police. I've got nothing to hide. He come at me. I'm just hoping there's CCTV that shows him aggressively walking towards me with his fist clenched, and then shows what's gone on. But yeah, just making contact. I don't know what else to do, Wayne. Yeah.
All right. So you weren't hiding. You weren't running. You got out of there because
do you know if I would have stayed there? If I would have stayed there at that moment,
there would have been a swarm.
Crowds would have gathered. There would have been a swarm. I'm in a London Underground. Lots of people don't like me. There'd be young Muslim gangs. It's like, it's a recipe for disaster.
It's a lawless place at the best of times.
It's a lawless city. Everyone's getting stabbed every day, let alone me. Yeah. Now I take the risk to go and do what I do day to day. I was going in for interviews. I had to go into London. We had to meet the stage, the screen guys. We're planning the biggest event.
You're talking about the September 13th
rally
now.
September 13th, the biggest event the country's ever seen. We're planning it. So I spent the whole day in London planning it, and then went to Brian Rose to do a podcast. So, I was in good nature all day. I was in good nature. And then this happens, top of the stairs. So when I've seen him at the floor, there's no benefit in me being there. There's already people with him.
Yeah.
So I contact the police, say, this has happened, Wayne. Look, I'm worried for him, yeah? But I've been put in a position here.
Yeah.
And I said, whatever you want me to do, let me know and I'll do it. Now, I had, for the media, I had pre-planned dates. I had arrangements. I've shown this all to the police. I said, look, that's when it was booked 3 weeks ago. There's the accommodation booked. There's the rental car booked, mate. Yeah. It's like, and the first thing I've done, so 6 o'clock in the morning, that officer comes back to me with a British Transport Police officer at 9:30 the next day. Yeah, this is who you need to speak to. But by that point, my solicitor at 6 in the morning had already contacted the police and said, look, Stephen wants to cooperate fully. What does he need to do?
Yeah.
When do you want to talk to him?
Yeah.
And they said, where is he? So she said, he's here, he's in Tenerife.
Yeah.
He's back on a flight into Manchester Monday night. And they said, okay, can he come back not via Manchester? Will he come back into London?
Yeah.
So she said, yeah, I'll speak to him now. So I changed my flight. I flew back into, I arranged, I told the police, here's the flight I'm on, here's when I'm coming back, I'm ready for interview. And then I get to the plane, it's like the army come. Like fucking police cars everywhere. And I'm thinking, when and I said to the air hostess.
If you came over in a dinghy from France, you would have been welcomed in. And you'd be in a four-star hotel.
But bearing in mind, the police know I've contacted them. Bearing in mind, the police know I was on I wasn't on the run. They know I've come back purposely to meet them. But the police officers didn't know that. So when the police officers come off the plane, I said to the air hostesses, look, I need to get out there. They're for me. I said, they're definitely going to be for me. And they're like, what? I said, they're for me. And there's a plane full of people. And there's there's a meat wagon, cars, blue lights everywhere.
There was lots of excitement. People were filming from
12 police officers. And then I went down, I said, all right. And they said, oh, you didn't expect us. I said, I'm the one that's told you I'm on this flight. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I've contacted you. but they're bosses.
Yeah.
So my solicitors contact their bosses. They've just been a squad, go get Tom
Yeah.
Robinson, he's come off this
Yeah.
plane. The police were lovely. Listen, all the police were talking about was September 13th. All the police officers, every police officer.
Rank and file police, if the brass aren't watching them, are
They're with us.
most
They're
of them are,
with
not
us.
all, but most. So let me just sum up. As soon as this thing went down, you saw that local security were on the scene, so the man's safety, health was already in the hands of authorities. You immediately left that voice message for your police liaison. 6 a.m. the next day, your lawyer phones the police in an authoritative way and say, what do you need?
What you need,
At no time did they say, Tommy Robinson, do not leave the country.
No, and no time did they say come back today. We said I'm back on Monday. Yeah.
And then you rearranged to come back earlier to London to make it more convenient
I
for
made it
them.
more convenient. I'm meant to be in Budapest today
Yeah.
with PragerU.
Yeah.
I'm meant to be in Budapest for work.
Yeah.
So I changed my things, come back because, to be honest, it was driving me insane.
Yeah.
I was worried.
Well, it's a hell of a... You could spend a lot of time in prison.
Well, I thought they're just going to remind me. I'm watching what the media are saying. Do you know the media were tracking down and the media were knocking on innocent families' doors in Tenerife, taking pictures of them, putting them in the paper.
There's a
all
madness
the stuff they've
there.
done to me.
You know what? It's...
They would say, someone who knew me 5 years ago, they went and knocked on his door, and as he answered the door, they got a long lens camera, and they put a big picture of him in the paper. This man called Barry. And they're saying, Tommy's hideaway. It's like, I haven't spoken to Barry for 5 years.
God. You know, if only they would take this interest in those boats coming across the channel.
Or in real criminals.
Yeah, unreal. 940,000 crimes reported to police in London last year. That's almost 1 million crimes, and I think a lot of crimes go unreported.
Well, I had 16 officers come to get me off my airplane.
Yeah, well,
16 officers.
I guess they had nothing more important to do. So you turned yourself in. Your lawyer was there. Everything turns on that surveillance camera. The UK has more cameras than anywhere.
Everything's on the footage.
Yeah.
The footage clearly shows I was confronted time and time again. I was accosted. I tried to get away. I didn't. I wasn't the aggressor. I'm trying to get away from the situation.
So you were in the room watching it with your lawyer and the cops?
I just went like that. Oh, bruv. And the two police
was in
officers.
the room? Paint the picture.
Me, the lawyer, the two coppers. Two coppers were very nice.
And the cops had seen this footage before?
They'd seen the footage. They're interviewing me on it. They've obviously got 7 witness statements, but the witness statements don't see the 2 minutes before.
I've traveled around the UK with you a little bit, and I know that you don't move without your phone in your hand because things can go sideways quickly, and if you don't have a recording of it, who will? And I think that...
I don't know. There is a recording. I don't know. Look, that recording, if it needs to come out, it will come out.
Yeah.
But it was better to let's see what the witnesses say.
You're
Okay?
right. And
Let's see what they say.
You're right.
If they want to take me to trial, take me to trial. We'll have fun in trial.
look, the fact that you were let go last night without any charges against you,
And again,
with the most minimal conditions...
If I had absconded, like the media have told you,
Yeah.
the media said I went on the run. If I'd gone on the run, I wouldn't have my passport now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to leave the country right now.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I'm glad the police saw it. I'm glad it wasn't the police pushing that narrative. It was the media. And I'm glad that the police officers who interviewed me seemed very fair. Obviously, look, that doesn't mean they're not going to charge me.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's even a complainant in the case.
Isn't that interesting? So the man who assaulted you, you defended, he went down hard. He's out of the hospital now, and you're saying that as far as you know, he has not actually complained to the police. No. That's very interesting, and it suggests that maybe he doesn't want to be inspected too closely.
If he watches the video, in fact, if anyone should be prosecuted here, it should be him.
Well, that's in a fantasy London alternative reality where criminals are held to account. He'll probably get some knighthood along with Sadiq Khan. Well, listen, I came over because I thought you were going to be in court today
Ezra,
with a lawyer trying to get...
Do you know the lawyer? So I sat down my case. I sat down with... We was on the phone to the King's Counsel the whole time in our interview. So we had... This is the sad thing about this state of affairs, yeah? We had to prepare an entire defence, a bail hearing. We had already prepared over the last 4 days for our bail application to try and get me back out of jail. I thought I was in jail. When I landed, I thought, I'm gone for years here. And I was sitting there thinking... I'm going to be on solitary for years.
Oh my God.
For defending myself. And now I've come to realisation, I can't walk around on my own. I can't do it. Well, because I can't face that same week I've just had.
Let me say this. First of all, the fact that you've come to that realization without a disaster happening to you is actually a good thing. Better you realize that now than in some terrible case where you're actually, let's say, not one guy, but maybe 5, maybe 6 guys jump you.
Yeah.
It's a sad state of affairs in London, but that's how it is. Also, if the cops released you last night because of the power of this surveillance video, I mean, listen.
Release the footage.
I think so, and
Release
I think
the footage.
I think
let
that
the public let the public see it and let the public decide what they would have done.
You know, they're really funny in the UK about releasing surveillance footage. There were a couple of Pakistani lads in Manchester who just beat up some cops, including a female cop.
They were hiding the footage in order to let the Pakistani lads off.
Hid the
it was the other way round.
And here, I wonder, they don't want you to look sympathetic. They don't want you to be corroborated that you were in defensive mode. I don't know what your rights to that footage are, because you're in it too. Maybe the guy who attacks you, maybe he could be blurred.
I think if they prosecute me on the 2nd of September, we will have to receive that footage. So I sit and think, will they want the footage to go out there?
Now, you mentioned the 2nd of September. Is there something special about that date?
That's when I answer bail.
So right now you're on bail, and they could charge you.
They could charge me. They're doing more investigations. And
that's decision days, September 2nd?
That's what they've said.
What makes me nervous about that is your big rally is coming up on September 13th.
Yeah, but there's nothing, when you watch the footage, Ezra, I would have been concerned about that. When you watch the footage, as well as the footage we have, if it goes before a judge, man, it's like, I know they can do what they want, but after watching that footage, which they've agreed they won't delete and we have 100% copy of, there's no case. There's self-defense. It's the most evident case of self-defense.
Well, listen, I just want to take a second, and when this whole thing happened, you and I spoke a bit, and I said, well, we can't stop them from harassing you, stressing you out, and burning up your time, but one thing we can do is we can lift the load of the legal fees. And I spoke to the firm, and they gave me a quote, and I haven't received the bill yet, but hundreds of people out there did chip in at SaveTommy.com.
Do you know what? Do you know what pisses me off? I'm sorry you had to chip in. I'm sorry because we don't get that money back. Because do you know why? Because when I went through, because they prepared. So the King's Council, they've prepared for the hearing.
They had to get ready.
They had to, because I had to get out of jail.
Assume the worst.
Yeah, assume the worst. So they've got ready, prepared everything. But that's what happens here. I go out for a day's work, I get accosted, I get threatened, I'm in a position where I have to defend myself.
It's a £10,000 hit.
I'm all up. That's 10,000, I know, and that's cheap. Like, that's cheap, not cheap, but the other ones have been 50, 80, you don't get it back.
And the actual criminal, nothing happens to him. In fact, he's been called the victim. Well, I mean, he's been hurt. Yeah,
he's been, and again, I wish him a full recovery.
You know what? The media has a culpability here. They have a constant drumbeat of hatred against you. They've painted a caricature of you, and
they still done it this whole weekend.
Yeah.
Even when they're in Tenerife, they're going in restaurants, going in the gym I use, going in everywhere.
There's got to be more reporters and more police on the Tommy Robinson beat than of major gangs.
Do you know what really made me happy, Ezra, watching all this? Because I was away and I couldn't comment. The amount of people who had my back. The amount of people who put their face to camera and said, he ain't innocent, he's innocent. And these people blindly done that. So I'm sitting there thinking, they haven't seen the video, they don't know what happened, but they're still putting their neck on the line and saying, nope, he's defended himself, he ain't just attacked some man. And do you know what, the best bit about it? He ain't 64. They just fucking lied.
They just make things up.
They just lied.
I've seen that time and again.
He's 64 years old, I'll be some old age picture. It's just a lie. It's a lie.
Isn't that crazy?
Man.
You know, it's wow.
But yeah, I'm happy. I was very worried, very scared. I need to work out what I do now between now and September 13th, which is probably shouldn't be. I'm going to work it out today. I can't be walking these streets.
Right.
Because something's going to happen. So I don't know what to do, man. But I just want a plan for United Kingdom, September 13th. I want everyone to be there. Get these as well at nationware.co.uk. And it's going to be the best event, Ezra. Country's brewing.
I'll be there, and I'm going to bring some Canadians too. In fact, we've got a little package. People come a couple days early. We'll meet other political activists and journalists. We'll go to your big rally. I'm speaking. Thanks for the invite. If folks from Canada want to come, we've got sort of a team that's going. You can find more at freespeechmission.com. Hey, I want to talk to you about one more thing.
Biggest event in history. I'm telling you, the biggest free speech event there has been. The biggest gathering of some of the most worldwide figures, the bravest people, and London is going to be the best welcoming city for it. It's going to be
Jordan Peterson,
Eva. I can't say. Sorry, Eva. Vanderbroek. I can't say it yet. So I can't say it. Dominic Szewski, Polish politician. We've got a group coming from New Zealand to do the hacker.
Right.
Avi Yemeni, my good friend, who comes up to about here on me. Avi's coming. It's a long list.
Oh, yeah.
It's a beautiful list. It's a long list. And it's not that. It's that the British public are coming out in their hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands. maybe even millions.
The UK has really transformed. In the last 6 months, I think things have changed. In the last week, I feel like there's so many organic rallies and protests against these migrant hotels. A year ago, it would have only been rallies that you and other sort of full-time activists would have led, but now it's ordinary people rising up.
Country's awake, mate, and it's mums coming
It's
out
amazing
everywhere,
to see.
and mums that were thinking something are now saying it. The cat's out of the bag.
Yeah.
People are awake. Talk about them.
I want to talk about this.
Separately?
You know, I came here to talk about you getting bail, but you showed me this, and it's almost too much to believe.
I was arrested for other charges yesterday by the Met.
So you got these just yesterday?
They arrested me.
These are
I was arrested under caution, questioned about 3 tweets.
So we've got those tweets here. I'll start with this one here.
Start with this one. Yeah?
Okay.
Let me explain this one.
So this says crime. These are
Crime. No, this is a crime. This is not non-crime. This is a crime. I was arrested.
You were arrested?
I was arrested for this. Now, what I've done is, this is sharing something from the Daily Mail newspaper. This is a Daily Mail article. So when they sat me down, they said, I think it's in their Harms Act 2023.
Yeah, that's a new law just the last week.
Yeah. Are you accredited? When they say credited, so media, journalists, they listed all these things. And the point, and so my solicitor butts in and says, hold on. So they said, you've shared this article, yeah, on your X account.
And you're saying that's a Daily Mail article,
Mail article.
but because you shared it and you don't have it's almost like
They're
that meme,
protected.
where's your license, mate?
Yeah, they're protected.
Where's your Twitter
so
license?
They're exempt from
Oh
this
my
law.
God.
So the recognised media, as in the government recognised media, are exempt from this law, but they're now using the law.
So they're checking who's an official person before they retweet a Daily Mail story.
and then you're arrested.
Arrested.
And then you're arrested.
So this is completely different.
And do you know what they said? And they said the point, because this is Daily Mail article, what they say is, a primary school in East London has been named as the first in the UK when none of the children's first language is English. Yeah, and then they showed some pictures of pupils. The school sits in a quiet side street, a busy commercial road in Whitechapel, a district once synonymous with Jack the Ripper, the Cray twins, and home to the nation's true Cockneys. Now this. Now that word was added onto Daily Mail article. Now this. Now what he said is, are you saying that those Bengali girls wearing headscarves are not Cockneys? And then the copper read out the definition of Cockney.
Oh my
God!
God!
The definition of Cockney
It's too much!
The definition of Cockney is, I'm crying my eyes out at this point. The definition of Cockney is someone born in East London, yeah?
Oh
So he's
my
like,
God.
Are you saying that they're not Cockneys? I was like,
Oh my God! It's too much.
What?
That sounds like an
Cockney's
absurd
the old,
comedy.
the old London Cockney rhyming
Oh
saying.
my God!
Are you saying that these little Bengali girls with hijabs on are not Cockneys?
And that's a crime. And it's a and even if you were wrong and they were right, it's a crime.
It's a crime. You're under arrest for that.
And here's one. You know, the UK has, last I heard, 43,000 jihadis under surveillance by MI5. Like, there's a real terrorism problem. And I've seen some of the big marches. You tweeted just a little meme here.
Well, again, there's lots of admins, which I made clear to the police. I didn't tweet this anyway, yeah? I have multiple admins on my account posting multiple news.
right.
I post my videos,
Yeah.
but regardless of that, yeah?
Yeah.
This was tweeted from my account. It says, fuck Palestine, fuck Hamas, fuck Islam, want to protest, fuck off to a Muslim country and protest. This was posted straight after, a few months after, this is from 2024. So this arrest is from a post on my Twitter from
More than a year ago.
2024.
They've been keeping this for more than a year.
One year. And just in case there's any confusion here, fuck Palestine, fuck Hamas, fuck Islam, and if you want to protest, fuck off to a Muslim country and protest. Yeah?
Now, that's profane language. Those are swear words, and someone might say those are mean.
That's my God-given
but to call
right.
those a crime is what's crazy.
And I'm only repeating that anyway, yeah? Because they're trying to nick me for that. They've arrested me because one of my admins, has shared a flag that says that.
Now, Nick, that means you've been arrested, and they're
Arrested
but
under
what
caution.
happened? So
I'm on police bail.
for this
For this,
also.
yeah.
So
This-
is there something going to come from this? Are you going to be charged?
They're letting me know. And this,
Oh
and
my
this other
God!
one,
And
this
there
other
was a
one,
third one there.
this other one, we are supposed to celebrate this diversity. So basically, the fact that none of the children's first language is English in the school, and because the comment says shush, we are supposed to celebrate this diversity, I'm under arrest. What do you think of what's going on in the UK?
I would not believe it if you didn't show this
I
to
actually
me.
said to the two coppers.
So
I
these
said,
were these
"Lads,
different cops?
These are different cops. These are Met. So it was British Transport Police questioned me first of all. I was in there till 3 in the morning.
Till 3 in the morning?
Because after the British Transport Police, the Met Police questioned me.
So the Twitter police?
Yeah, the Twitter police.
I've heard that 30 people a day are arrested under...
This is this. And I actually said to the two lads who were sitting there trying to tell me, these kids got these. And I said, lads, you didn't sign up the police to protect and serve.
Yeah, no one says, when I want to grow up, I want to take on
just asking
Twitter.
You didn't actually do that to be sitting down with people like me about a post saying, shh, this is diversity. Like on a serious note, lads, and they're both just looking at me. I said, no, I'm fucking serious. Like, you must be pissed off. You've got to be raging. You know? Who's making you do this?
Now, can you describe these cops? Were they sort of affirmative action DEI hires?
No, they weren't, no.
These are just regular cops
No,
who
regular
are on
cops.
the censorship beat?
Regular cops who were all right. As well, when I spoke to him after the interview, the other lad said, we're all looking forward to September 13th, Tommy.
But he's the enforcer of this.
But they're the people who are sent to do an arrest for this.
There any...
And I actually just laughed. When I read these, when they put them on the table,
That's
I was thinking, what's this arrest for? And when I read that one, I was like, That's really? They're just looking at me like...
Have they taken these down or censored them in any way?
No, they're not taken down. See, this is where they'll start saying crimes have been committed on X. They'll start saying, they'll put a big, in a month or 2 months or in a year, there'll be 1,000 crimes recorded from X where the government couldn't do anything or something like that. That's what I think. They just build it up. Now anyone can see these. It's like, it's just ridiculous. They've gone back to, bearing in mind, it's now 2026. This post is from May 2024. Now I'll get you up what they actually said. They spoke about people's feelings being hurt and just...
feelings are hurt all the time. I didn't know there was a crime.
The story was with this one. One of the points with this was, so it was shared in June 2025. I think the article might have been wrote in 2024. So by the time this was shared, they're saying that it's not all the kids don't speak English. But they're saying it's a year later. So now it's wrong. So then...
But you're allowed to be wrong. I mean...
No. The thing that the arrest is for publishing something that's not correct. That's what the arrest... So there's 2 arrests. One of them was for going against thing, and this was for publishing something which you know not to be right. And it's like, it's in the Daily Mail, mate. But then they said, yeah, but when you published it a year later, it means it's not right. It's like, are you fucking winding me up? Are you actually for real? Is this actually, we're actually sitting, I'm under arrest in police interview because something was shared a year later, which then would have changed the statistic a little bit.
Tommy, there's Levant, the former Soviet head of secret police, had a saying, show me the man and I'll find you the crime, which meant we got something on everyone. Just tell me who you want to go after. There is no public person in the UK who hasn't said something with a spicy opinion or a fact that maybe was out of date. Every MP and every...
Okay, mate, he gets a community noted every week.
That's the thing. And those things, that's part of the debate. For police to arbitrate a debate, for police to be a fact checker, that is terrifying.
To arrest. So
when I stepped off the plane, give me 1 more minute on this arrest.
When I stepped off the plane, I was arrested for GBH and I was arrested for these charges.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know what they were talking about. I said, read that out to me again. What am I being under arrest for? And it's like communications, blah, blah, blah. Something to do with this Communications Act 2023. Breaches of this.
So do you have to go back to court on this?
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting.
Oh my God.
I just gave a prepared statement that said, actually, because I didn't post these anyway, yeah?
Right.
I didn't post them. But this is fucking ridiculous, lads.
And so they kept it. So you were done the whole subway fight, tube fight at 1 a.m., but they kept you another 2 hours.
Questioning about this.
At 1 a.m., at 2 a.m. Well, first of all, thanks to your lawyers for staying up so late.
No, the lawyers, thanks to the lawyers, well, they're on it, man. And thanks, Ezra, for paying for this.
You know, do you know
how much I was shitting myself? I'm not even telling you.
Yeah.
Like, I had to say all the goodbyes to the kids again. I was crying on the phone. I was crying on the phone because I hadn't seen them since I was away, and I was like, kids, I'm sorry, man, again. And I felt like I let them down again. Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
I thought I'd gone for years here. Because if I didn't have the CCTV, I probably would be.
You know what? I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Donald Trump and others, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and others in the administration, including Vice President J.D. Vance, have been talking about censorship in the UK. They raised it. There was a little delegation of congressmen that came to the UK, and they're worried about free speech. I don't think they know how bad it is.
I'll do a video on this when I go home.
You know, and it's an American company. Twitter's an American company. It's called X now. Elon Musk. They're censoring you, Tommy, but they're actually in a way
they're attacking the companies.
X.
Yeah.
If they could, they would shut it down in the UK.
For sure. That's their target. That's
Oh
their
my
target.
God. Wow. Well, listen, I am relieved. I feel like
Oh my bro.
I came over. I thought I was gonna see you through the glass.
John, I
of
walked out. I walked out and went, September 13th.
Well,
Because
yeah.
we built up this big thing, and then
Oh,
I thought, it's all over.
Wow.
It's all over.
Well, listen, thanks for spending time
Cheers,
with me, and
Thanks.
and all the best to your family.
Thanks, man.
And let me just say one more thing. We've set up a fund for Tommy's kids. It's a trust fund. The money doesn't go to Tommy. It goes to the trust just for the kids, and it's called TommyRobinsonChildren.com. And you're doing great today. You're in good spirits. You're in good health. I want to say something dark for a moment.
Yep.
God forbid, may it never happen. But things could have gone differently. God forbid,
I thought
in
I was
that
gone for
subway.
years. And for years, and I was thinking, what are the kids going to do for years?
Or,
I was-
God forbid, he would have hit you
He would
first.
hit me, I'll be dead.
God forbid. And so, one of the things that we've set up is this trust fund. 100% of the funds go to the trust. Nothing to Tommy. It's a give, send, go account. TommyRobinsonChildren.com. If you feel moved to help the kids, and I've had the pleasure of meeting the kids, they're so lovely, and you feel good donating to that, and
I'm
I
grateful, man.
know it's helped.
That's helped massively. I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
So listen, Tommy,
Thanks.
good luck.
Cheers,
Stay
man.
strong.
Thanks,
Stay
mate.
safe, okay?
I'm hiding till September 13th.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you September 13th. Thanks,
Cheers,
mate.
mate. Thanks.
Cheers. Well, that's our show for today. Until tomorrow, on behalf of all of us at Rebel News, whether it's in Canada, Australia, or here in the UK, good night, and keep fighting for freedom.